The Pope's grand scheme to eliminate his enemies turned into his own fatal undoing. Alexander VI, born Rodrigo Borgia, was not merely a pope. He was a titan of the Renaissance, a figure whose name still evokes whispers of power, corruption, and a relentless pursuit of family ambition. His papacy, from 1492 to 1503, was a theater of political maneuvering, lavish banquets, and some argue a chilling mastery of poison. The Borgia family name itself became synonymous with intrigue. Rodrigo, as cardinal, had already established a reputation for worldly pleasures and shrewd diplomacy. His election to the papacy, however, catapulted him to an unprecedented level of influence, which he was determined to wield for his children's advancement. His son, Cesare Borgia, was the embodiment of Renaissance ruthlessness, a military commander whose campaigns reshaped the political landscape of central Italy. Daughter Lucrezia, though often depicted as a femme fatale, was more likely a pawn in her father's political marriages, used to forge alliances and consolidate power. Their ambitions, however, required vast resources and, more importantly, the elimination of rivals. The opulent banquets hosted by the Borgias were legendary, but beneath the glittering surface of silks and silver, a darker, more sinister narrative began to unfold. Whispers of cantarella, a supposed Borgia poison, circulated through the courts of Europe. It was said to be a potent, tasteless substance, often administered in food or drink, leaving few traces and making death appear natural. Whether cantarella was a specific formula or a chilling rumor, its legend endured. The year is 1503. Pope Alexander VI, now 72, had ruled for over a decade. His health, though robust for his age, was not immune to the rigors of his demanding life. Yet, what transpired in August of that year would forever be shrouded in mystery and dark speculation. On August 11th, Alexander and Cesare attended a dinner at the home of Cardinal Adriano Casalesi da Cornedo, a man whom Cesare had previously sought to remove from power. This detail, often overlooked, becomes crucial when examining the events that followed. Days later, both the Pope and his son fell gravely ill. Contemporaneous accounts describe Alexander suffering from a high fever, vomiting, and convulsions. Cesare, too, experienced similar, though less severe, symptoms, a critical distinction. The Pope's condition rapidly deteriorated. On August 18, 1503, Alexander VI died. His sudden demise shocked Rome and Europe, setting off a scramble for power and immediate questions regarding the cause of his death. Official reports attributed his death to Roman fever, a common term for malaria, which was endemic in the sweltering August heat of Rome. This explanation, while plausible, did little to quell the suspicions already swirling around the Borgia name. But what if the official explanation was merely a convenient cover story? The alternative, more scandalous theory suggests a far more deliberate act, one engineered by the Borgias themselves, that tragically backfired. According to this theory, Alexander and Cesare had orchestrated a plot to poison Cardinal Casalesi. They intended to seize his immense wealth and properties, a standard Borgia tactic for financing their endless military campaigns and lavish lifestyles. The scheme involved a poisoned flask of wine, carefully prepared and intended only for the cardinal. The plan was meticulous, or so they believed. The dinner at Casalesi's villa was the perfect setting. However, a catastrophic error occurred. Perhaps a servant, confused or bribed, served the poisoned wine to Alexander and Cesare instead of their intended victim. It was a deadly mix-up, a cruel twist of fate for the masters of deception. The symptoms experienced by both father and son, fever, vomiting, severe gastrointestinal distress, are consistent with many known poisons of the era. The fact that Cesare survived, albeit severely weakened, while Alexander perished, further fuels the poisoning hypothesis. Cesare's youth and stronger constitution likely allowed him to recover slowly from a dose that proved fatal for his aging father. The recovery period for Cesare, long and arduous, also points away from a simple fever. Further, the Pope's body reportedly decomposed with unusual rapidity and swelling, an observation noted by several chroniclers. While summer heat could exacerbate this, some interpreted it as a sign of poisoning, a common belief at the time. The timing of Alexander's death was also politically convenient for some, particularly the powerful Orsini family, long-standing enemies of the Borgias. His demise shifted the balance of power dramatically, almost instantly undoing years of Borgia consolidation. The idea that a master manipulator, a man who allegedly used poison as a tool, could fall victim to his own machinations holds a certain poetic justice. It's a narrative that resonates with the dramatic flair of the Borgia era. However, proving this theory definitively remains impossible. Without modern forensic analysis, the truth is lost to time. We rely on the accounts of chroniclers, often biased, and the logic of circumstantial evidence. What we do know is that Alexander VI's death marked the swift decline of the Borgia family's power. Cesare, weakened and without his father's support, saw his hard-won territories crumble, his influence vanish. The deadly dinner, whether by accident or design, remains one of history's most compelling what-ifs. Did the architect of so many schemes finally become a victim of his own deadly game? The legacy of Alexander VI and the Borgias continues to fascinate, a testament to an era where power was absolute and life often cheap, particularly when an enemy stood in the way. Discover more chilling tales from the annals of royal intrigue by clicking on the video suggested next.